Hello, welcome back to another episode of Warriors HQ, and rugby is back in Glasgow this weekend. We welcome Munster to Scotstoun Stadium tomorrow night, 7:35 live on Premier Sports 2. Coming up in today's show, we'll have preview of that game with head coach Dave Rennie. We look back at our dramatic victory over Connacht at the sports ground, and we also have footage from this week's season ticket members event. But we'll begin by heading to the west coast of Ireland, and a Stuart Hogg drop goal late in the game secured 5 points at the sports ground, and here is the best of the action.
Bright sunshine at the sports ground, so we're in for a really open game. A little error at the start. Going forward, it looks like Glasgow has come away with the ball out of the 22. Both sides looking to make a big statement on this opening day. By Horn, the defence closed down. The tackle comes in from Owen McKeown. Butler just had to get out of the way quickly there. First carry for him. Again, Glasgow go through the hands, looking to move it wide. Hogg, little chip into the 22. Tiernan O'Halloran has to turn and chase. He's going to win the race. Oh, it's a try right at the start, is it, for Van der Merwe? Beautiful chip ahead. Wonderful finish. Advantage still being played. They're up to 6 metres out. Carty almost slipped away from the tackle. Second tackler arrived. Beelum on the burst. The ball squirts loose. It's gone backwards. Connacht still have it. Look to find a hole in the defence going the other direction. Jared Butler dipped the shoulder but couldn't quite find a way through. Crossfield kick. 2. Oh, it's going to be a try for Connacht. Cian Kelleher stayed wide. Carty spotted him. Clever play. Catch Connacht off guard, but the Connacht defence swept across. Kebbel, lovely little pop-up pass. Hastings, is there a man over here? Van der Merwe racing into the 22. Oh, good chasing tackle. Ball bobbled around loose. Referee perfectly placed. Didn't go forward. Rob Harley was the first one in support. Glasgow. Great response now to that Connacht score. Can they turn it into points on the board? Just trying to turn the ball, slow ball into quick ball, and the space opens up. George Turner saw his opportunity and raced away unopposed. Scooping the ball off the ground. Blade under pressure. Oh, regretting now not taking the shot at goal, I'm sure. Well, can he retain that decision? Can Connacht and his teammates help? There's another penalty coming. Carty nearly got isolated, but good body position. O'Halloran, great feet from him, charging into Hogg. Oh, there's a lot of penalties counting here. Oh, what a take from Beelum, and he's in. What brilliant play. Oh, more like a back row or a centre from Beelum. Came on a brilliant line, and the big smiles in the crowd of the sports ground. Yeah. Glasgow told to use the ball, little switch. Horn, Peter Horn that is. Coming back against the grain of the running, ran straight into defenders. Connacht supporters roaring on their team here. It's been brave defence. Can they hold out this time? No, there's the touchdown. Yes, it is. Well, it was just too much pressure coming from Glasgow. Try number 3 from the visitors. I'm not sure they wouldn't be better to take their 3 points at this stage, but we'll find out in a moment. Glasgow set up the maul. Fraser Brown harrying it on the back. They're now getting some forward momentum here. Brown is over the line. Is he down? The ball is touchdown. Brilliant try from Glasgow. Just what they needed. And they're down a man, remember. The Glasgow Frisbee has a look. Comes to the left-hand side once again. Slower ball for Glasgow. Frisbee looks right, then comes to the left-hand side to Alex Allen. Oh, how tiring is this? Oh, big tackle comes in, high tackle on Hastings.
Yeah, I think that's a high tackle by McCabe. A tired tackle.
Free drop goal attempt from Hogg. And it's good. What about that from Stuart Hogg? Have to be full concentration from Connacht now. Oh, Glasgow sitting nicely. Is there a little bit of space? Oh, lovely feet. Farrell, good one coming in support. Penalty to Connacht. Well, it's a long, long way out.
It was a lovely sort of hips by Tom Farrell to make the break, but I think this could be too far for Craig Ronaldson to kick, and they have to think with their head here.
Well, it's the easier side for Craig Ronaldson. He doesn't hesitate, points at the posts. It's all on the shoulders of the substitute outside half.
Well, to be fair to Ronaldson.
After 81 minutes of fantastic rugby and beautiful sunshine, it comes down to this. Halfway between the 10-metre line and the halfway line. Crowd silent. It's got the line. It doesn't. Oh, it just had enough off the outside of the post. It's kicked over the end line. Ronaldson can't believe it. It looked good.
So with a win on the road under our belts, we welcome Munster to Scotstoun Stadium. And earlier today, Dave Rennie talked me through his starting 15.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've put the same back line out twice in the sort of 12 months I've been here, so good continuity.
Let's start with the front row. Fraser Brown comes in instead of George Turner. What's the thinking there?
Oh, it's a rotation really. We're fortunate, got a couple of great hookers there, and I thought George was really strong, and Fraser was great off the bench, so they'll swap roles this week. And
then behind them, Rob Harley shows his versatility by switching from the flank into the row.
Yeah, he was really strong again last week, Rob, and just massive work rate. We're keen to have that on the field again, and yeah, obviously we can put him in at lock, and it brings Adam Ashen, who's now got a couple of cameos under his belt and ready to start.
He missed a lot of rugby last season, Ashy. How physical can he be, and how important will that be in the game against Munster?
Yeah, he's a big man. He's a really good athlete, and with the ability to cut people in half. So he's starting to get back to that sort of form, and we'll need a bit of that tomorrow.
You said it's the first time you've been able to name the same backline 2 games in a row. What are you expecting from them, or looking for them this weekend?
I was just, from a continuity point of view, we're just trying to build on those sort of partnerships, and so we know we can be a lot better, especially our connection between our backs and our forwards. So big men went through the middle pretty well last week, and we just need to make sure that the backs are engaged. We had some opportunities to move the ball beyond that and didn't take them. So these guys get another chance to, I guess, build on last week's performance, and from a bench point of view, a couple of changes.
Yeah, let's talk about the bench. 3 Scotland internationals coming in. Let's start with Jamie Batty. What will you be looking for him to bring on in the second half?
Yeah, obviously Jamie had a great season last year. He started off as a pretty inexperienced player and played about 14 tests for Scotland. So he's had a really good off-season. He's ready to go now, and so we want a good set piece out of him, and working hard around the track, and it's good. We've got good depth at loose head with Ollie Kebble starting last week and again this week, and Alex Allen unlucky to move out.
Matt Ferguson also comes in. Tell us about him, and how is he a different player this year from last?
Yeah, he'll be a bit more experienced. He's still a kid, and he's just turned 20. Already got an international cap under his belt, and comes in for Chris Vasari, who got a head knock last week and has failed his HIA. So, but Matty, it was really good for us last year. We started in all the big games in the end, so made a real impression, and so he gets his chance off the bench tonight.
And then Ali Price, it'll be good to see him back to his best.
Yeah, I've been really happy with Ali. He's worked really hard. He's got himself in great shape. Like his speed, the quality of his pass, and so on is really important, and he's fizzing. So he'll get a reasonable crack second half.
Many of you will have been at our season ticket members event at Scotstoun on Monday night, but for those of you who weren't, here's what you missed.
You've named co-captains this season, Ryan Wilson and Callum Gibbons. Was that simply because they're inseparable?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Gibbons.
Which one's which?
Well, it's not Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, that's all I'm saying. They're really good mates. Ryan was captain last year. He spends a fair bit of time away from the environment, obviously with his Scottish commitments, and with a dozen boys in the team who can only play 4 or 5 games in a row, and you've got to rest them. So he missed a fair few games and then a few injuries on top of that. So Cully captained the team a lot last year, and they're both good mates. They're very aligned, and even when Ryan was captain, he'd often talk to Cully about a lot of things. And
you can see even more question and answers from the members event on YouTube, and you can also listen to it on our brand new official Glasgow Warriors podcast, Warriors Weekly, which you can download on Apple Podcasts and Acast every Tuesday. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Warriors HQ. We look forward to seeing you all at Scotstoun tomorrow night. Keep an eye on the big screen for our brand new health and safety video featuring some of your favourite players who weren't all one-take wonders.
See? That's the way.
Attention please, attention please. The fire alarm system is about to be tested. The fire alert signal will sound, followed by the fire evacuation signal. Please take no further action on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of safety, this building must be evacuated.
Remember, your nearest exit may be behind you. If necessary and required,
so close.
Instructed.
And then you can always notify your nearest steward if you're unsure.
Then I hit you from a different angle. Hey, sweet, cheap shot, virtually straight cop.